Hey all, it's Chris again. And today I've got a really special person here that I think many of you will already know. It's my friend, Tony Rodrigues. How are you, Tony?
Hey Chris, I'm really good, man. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming on and sharing your experience with the Deems and helping people understand how you found to use it personally and and because it really helps everybody to learn, and we're all learning together on this device. So thank you.
Thanks. Well, I have a good testimony about it. And it's when you get hurt or whatever, an injury is always out of something unfortunate. And it was like after Orlando, I decided I had to have one and got it in the mail. Literally, I think the day of, I hurt my hand really bad and probably broke it. So I was hitting something and I came down like this, and it was this area right here, boom, and it probably got a fracture. But yeah, I'm the old school. My mom was like, look, if it's doesn't, if just go to sleep. And if it still hurts in the morning, we may or may not go to the doctor. And that's kind of how I do business. And so if I get hurt, I got to wait a day or so to see if it's going to shake out. And it didn't. It still hurt badly. And the Deems came in the mail that day. It was um, absolutely great timing. And immediately, so it was like a light fracture, like on a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was like a constant 6. And I didn't use my hand. I couldn't really articulate my fingers and do this. And so held the Deems to it. First thing I did, with the red dots towards it on top, and it immediately soothed the pain. So I had a dull pain, and it went from a 6 down to like a 3 worth of dull pain. I went, whoa. Because I was supporting, and so many people gave their testimony. So I really just wanted a Deems because it's obviously amazing, but I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for. I wasn't, it's not like I had something in mind, but I immediately had the purpose and the need the day of, and I held it on there, and the pain immediately soothed and went away. And what I found was that when I held it like this, I carried it around with me, and that was like a steady, it was like taking a painkiller. And so that's what I kept it. And I ended up sleeping on top of it. So I sleep on my stomach, and I slept like that. And when I woke up in the morning, I had like an overall, um, like a disorientation, like a feeling. And I thought, oh, because this was the next day, like I got it out of the box and then ended up sleeping with the thing that night in my, and I thought, man, I should have read the instructions because I was a little bit disoriented because there was an effect. And I remember specifically waking up times in the night where I was holding it like toward, somewhere towards me. And I went, whoa, that's not right. And I would move it away from me under my pillow and kind of sleep on it like that. And so it wasn't, I don't want to say it had a bad effect, but it was something that I would want to temper. Like that was the only time that I slept with it. I used it sparingly, or at least I used it purposely. Like I'd set my hand and put it there and give it the Deems and not do anything else. After that, like I treated it with a lot more respect because I woke up the next day like very disoriented, like kind of dizzy from it. So I don't know what effect it had on me or what else was going on, but it definitely was very noticeable. It wasn't subtle. And
No,
so
it's
I
not a
just kept
subtle
it.
thing.
And I want to say the next 10 or 15 days, I would treat it. Oh, and the hand got better immediately. And what happened was that day it got better. And then I went to work. I went to my 9 to 5, and I hurt it again by using it because it got strong. And whoa, and I would give it the Deems again at night. And then it got better. And I kind of got into my own schedule. I never really bandaged it. I did buy a wrist, those wrist things, like for the sprain, when you sprain your wrist, they got them at the drugstore. I
Yeah.
got one of those, and I wore it maybe one day, and the rest of the time I just put the Deems on it, and it helped the swelling. It helped it across the board, like because I went a couple of days without the Deems too. I was testing, I was curious and kind of working it out too. I remember I kind of immediately contacted you and said, how do I do this? And you said, just you'll know the effect when it gets there. And so I kind of worked it out, and it was about 10 or 15 days I got it back. It still isn't, like this knuckle, I think, caught hell from what happened. But I never went to the doctor, never splinted it, and it's better. So the Deems was definitely, I was using it as a painkiller. when I was using, and I tried a few different things with it, you know. I still use it like for when I feel a little off, you know, like if I get certain areas or sprain my back or something, like I'll hold it over there for a while. I give it 10 or 15 minutes all the time. So it's a very amazing thing that, and I always joke with you that my batteries are dead. I need new batteries for it, but
Yeah,
it doesn't
But
need
since
batteries.
it has no battery, so it's purely magnetic, obviously. But yeah, it was really amazing to me because you don't have any crystals at all. I didn't send
Well, I
them to
do.
you. Oh, you do? Did
Oh,
you?
you mean the DEEMS crystals?
The
So I
ones I
use
sent.
Vogel.
Use the
I didn't
Vogel.
use
Yeah.
for any of my energy, any of my injury, excuse me, all my quartz crystals, I use different stuff. That's different
Right.
animal to me. But no, none of the attachments you mean for the front of it. No,
Right. Yeah. Did you use any of them on with the device at all, or did you just use the device?
just the device. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what's really especially good for the pain management and helping that, because you don't really need a crystal or any sort of additional thing for pain, because even the National Institute of Health on their website talks about how just magnets alone are amazing for pain relief and tissue regeneration. Why they don't push that? Well, we do know why they don't push that, but but that's just by itself, but then when you add the vortex to it and the piezoelectric, then it really hits the nervous system and really helps, as well. So you don't need, a lot of people get worried about buying it without crystals. I'm like, no, you don't need them for physiological stuff. That's really when you want to go into more spiritual work, is when you want to integrate the crystals. But
Oh,
I was
I
just
see.
curious
That's
if
what
you'd
that's
use
where
them.
like more of
Yeah.
a meditation,
Yeah, and if you
meditating as you're
do,
doing.
yeah, and like if you know the meridians of the body and the acupressure points, those relate and correlate to different crystals, but if you don't do that or know that, it's kind of, you don't need them. So the device stands alone, but yeah,
I
I
found
think
that.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I haven't really messed around too much with like changing this, how you can change things around on it. And you've told me that other people turn it around and do things. I haven't messed with any of that. I keep it lined up and just kind of use the vortex. You can actually. So when I was in pain, you can actually feel almost the shape of the vortex. You can feel it. Like it was very sensitive, and like I hurt my hand to the point where this was a big bruise on the inside of it. So it was a fairly good, significant injury. And like I said, the timing of it all, that the DEEMS came in the mail that day, worked out for us. So when you were kind of talking about having people come on and talk about it for you to make these clips, I'm all for it, because I've told a lot of people that, and unfortunately, so I have some normies in my life, like my oldest daughter and her boyfriend hurt his back, and I'm like, here, man, put this on it. They kind of, they're kind of skeptical. They're normies, so they hold it and go, whatever. He didn't use it much, but I'm like, you can lead a horse to water, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And but this is the real technology. It was noticeable. It wasn't. There are many things on the market that I've seen at talks. I've done the conferences out west in California, and people have things with, with glitter and balls and things. They come and clear you, and I'm like, thanks. But I, may or may not have worked, but I didn't feel anything immediately.
Yeah.
So anything that's kind of out on the fringe technology, I don't really push any of the other stuff to anybody unless I see that it works, unless there's it works, like as of right now, you put it on and it works. So other things that may or may not work in the future, your cleanse or clearing or all that stuff, it's like, I don't shoot it down, but I really push the stuff that has an immediate effect. And this did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And it's amazing really in its simplicity and ease of use, and that's, I think, and the point of it that I don't know that everybody really understands is that the DEEMS really doesn't do anything. I mean, it emits a magnetic field and a piezoelectric field. It creates a little vortex, but that's all it does. It stops there. It's our body, so for me, it's a tool for people to begin to learn and understand that we really don't need the DEEMS device, but it's a tool to teach us how to heal ourselves until we no longer need it, or any of that technology. Because, we have the capacity to do everything ourselves healing wise. We just need to learn how to do it and remember that we have that capacity to do that as a human brain and human being.
I think a lot of people are completely unaware of that. A, that effect is, very significant. And B, a lot of our day-to-day lives now are just bombarded with electromagnetic energies that may or may not be beneficial. So there are radiations in our home. Like, you're not supposed to actually, if you read the manual, you're not supposed to touch your cell phone while you're using it. You're supposed to hold it out here. So, so we're exposed to a lot of things that we weren't when we were young, and our parents never dreamt of. So it's a whole nother world that we live in right now, as far as these forms of wavelengths of energy. And so anything that can kind of right that and work along, not only is it useful for like I use it as a painkiller and to heal and to allow your body to do stuff, but it's also a useful demonstration that these are real. That I think a lot of people don't think that the Wi-Fi and the cell phone and all the stuff in your house is detrimental, because they just don't think that they don't see it, don't feel it, so it's not real. So this is something that demonstrates that there is a measured effect. This is a super powerful one, but all the mild ones need to have some respect around them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the more we go on this evolutionary journey, the more we will learn that, and that's why we do these little short video clips so people to learn how to begin manifesting their own future, and understanding that all things are thought and we create our own. We can heal ourselves. It's all in our mind, and it's amazing. We just forget who we are. So
I could go on any of 10 tangents just from that few sentences that you said there, because there's so much in there. And it, like I said, so many people are completely unaware of healing yourself, what you're capable of, what everybody's capable of. So many people are completely unaware of it, and in fact are taught by media, mom and dad, old people, chemical addiction, everything. People are taught to actually go in the other direction and manifest misfortune as well. Like a lot, because if you're not tending, I'm sure there's a clever saying for this. I'm sure there's a clever saying somewhere out there, like a wives' tale, that says basically, if you're not tending the cattle, that they're getting away, kind of thing. You know what I mean? If you're not taking care of your mind to do good things for you and manifest a better life for you, you're actually, it's being done for you in a negative way. You're actually letting something bad happen to you. So the whole subject matter is so big, and I'm kind of shocked at this point at how little people know across the board.
Yeah, because we tend to anesthetize our brain, and that can be done through just distraction, which is why it's so important to find yourself, love yourself, take care of yourself, treat yourself the best that you possibly can, because you're focusing inward. And in doing so, you begin to unlock and open your own mind and your own process, and then realize your own worth and value and power. We've been told for a long time now, society, we've had religions used against us. We've had substances used against us to distract and or anesthetize our mind to the point that we're dulled down and we don't realize the power that we have. So it's our goal, my goal, and with disclosure and everything, and I know it's yours as well, that just to let people know that, you may not believe everything you see or hear, which you shouldn't. You should think for yourself, but you did hear it, and that will help open something in your mind. And that's our goal, for people to just begin thinking for themselves and learning their own power.
And actually beginning to trust in themselves to manipulate their life in the right direction. So many people have no idea. And, I want to say this, Chris, while I got you here, I'll put you on the spot a little bit. Okay. So among all this thing, I have my own story, and there's my own history of how I learned after what I went through, how I learned that, hey, what's real and what's possible. Mm-hmm. So since I've met you, though, I think that you're a really good example. And you don't know this, but I've actually learned quite a bit from you by watching how you are. I've got to know you as a person. We talk, we have our circle of friends that we talk, and I actually you know, now and again, I see your remarks on things. I see what you do, and I'm learning a lot from you because you're somebody that's very advanced at that. So I just want to say thank you and put you on the spot about that. So just so you, if it doesn't seem like it, I am always kind of taking notes from you.
Oh, well, thanks, Tony. And the same with me, with you. You have your experiences and your memories, of the things you've been through kind of inspire me as well. So I think it works out well. So thank you.
Well, there we go. So hopefully no more accidents to where I need to use the DEEMS. Thanks for I love my DEEMS. I hope I don't have to use it. But it comes in handy, and anybody, I would say from my experience, anybody has pain, I think it would help. I think, and like you said, because pain does disrupt the body, especially in other ways, just in your head on top of the injury. So I would recommend it for that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And just a final quick note, I don't want people to think that we're all on a different vibratory frequency, our brain, our body, so we all react slightly differently, to external stimuli, and the DEEMS being as powerful as it is, some people feel an effect immediately, and like you did. Some people, it's a cumulative thing. And then some people feel it very powerfully at the beginning, and then it kind of fades after a few weeks. And that's because we're adjusting. The DEEMS doesn't change. Our bodies adjust. Like when you said you sleep with it and you felt a little amped up, a lot of people feel that. So some people can't sleep with it, but then a lot of other people, once they're kind of at a vibratory, equal with the vibration of it, they can't sleep without it. Because it's really soothing and helps them sleep, so it's just, we're constantly changing, and the devices are built in a way that it won't change, but we can adjust to it. And so it's not, something to be concerned about if you do feel a little bit amped up. It's just that your nervous system has been stimulated and there's a lot of energy flowing. And it's just like drinking an extra cup of coffee or something, that you're a little stimulated.
I think now that you mentioned that, I think in the beginning, when I first used it, it was super powerful. It was a big, powerful, instant thing. And then I used it every day for hours. In the beginning, it was all the time. And even after I slept on it, and it kind of went down the effect but I think I was just getting better too. What's happened was also because it's got such a strong magnet, I can't just leave it laying around. I don't take it with me through the house. It has to have its own shelf. Because if you take it through the house, you can hurt your phone. It starts picking stuff up, it starts picking things up all the time.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I leave it alone for a day, for 4 or 5 days, and then use it, and I can feel it kind of a better effect at that point too. So like I let it, just like you said, it's like drinking a cup of coffee. You get used to it every day, and then taking 5 days off of coffee and having one, and it's a bigger effect. I think that's the effect that I get from it personally. So.
Yeah, and that's not an uncommon effect at all, but we all react differently to it, to stimuli, and our nervous systems are different. So so I'm not at all surprised to hear that you can't sleep with it, because some people can, some people can't. I do, but I'm not every night. So it just depends on how I feel when I go to bed. If I feel like I need it, I'll sleep with it.
I'm thinking DEEMS chamber, like a giant, the big one that you could roll somebody in there and do the whole, like it's obviously scalable. So
it is.
The physics of it, I always stare at it and just try to figure it out as a machine. Like I'm always trying to look at it like the same way that I look at a car engine. I'm always looking at it and trying to figure out like what does the field look like. I'm envisioning it in my head. And I'm always thinking of other things that, you could do with it. It's got to be any of a number of applications, different things you can do with the same design.
Yeah. And we're hoping to have one of those. I'm actually working on at least 3 right now, 4 technically. Hoping to have one at the Logistic Conference in October, ready for people to try out. So we'll see if that works out. So yes, you're right. And I am trying to scale it up and try some pretty new things with it. So we'll see.
Yeah, so I don't want to blurt out a bunch of stuff while we're recording, but like I said, I keep thinking there's a lot of possibilities. So the future is bright.
Yeah. Well, listen, Tony, I really appreciate your time, and you're sharing your story.
Anytime. Yeah, great to hang out with you again, Chris. it's been a long time, and I think this year is gonna be a big year. I think there's a lot of good things happening.
Oh,
For the rest of
absolutely.
the year, and I can't wait
Yeah.
to hang out with you guys all again at GSIC again in October. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and it's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Oh, yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot that I've got on my plate before I can roll out to there too. So,
Yeah.
I got, it's gonna be a whole different thing, whole different subject matter this year.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to your new book too. So that'll be fun to
Thanks.
hear to read. So
Coming along good. It's coming along pretty good. We're looking at mid-April, early to mid-April to release it. So I'll get you a copy.
oh yeah, absolutely. Cool. Love it. All right. Well, I guess guys, we'll say bye for now and on to the next one. See you later.
Take care.